All right. Well, this is just your weekly reminder. We post every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube for the full visuals. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook at Nothing But Controversy. On Twitter, it's at NB Controversy. Go to nothingbutcontroversy.com/blog to read all of our newest blogs, what we have to say about certain things. And go to our Instagram page, click the link in our bio to have a link tree to all of these social media platforms that we are on. And let's go to episode 45.
This is Nothing But Controversy. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Nothing But Controversy with Matt, Dawson, Cam, and Shaner.
All right, well, what's up, guys? And welcome to episode 45 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. It's great to see all of your sexy faces. We are officially 110 days away from the Super Bowl, and let's get into our schedule here. We're going to have the question of the week, then our bold prediction of the week, then our game of the week, and then we're going to have another segment of NBC Awards 2 weeks in a row.
Hell yeah.
You're welcome. Then we go into top five, and then our lock of the week in terms of betting. So with that being said, Shaner's got a nice scruffy beard going, and we're going to go into our question of the week. Okay, so this week we kind of have a little two-part question here. So the question is, after week 7, since we are now in week 8, if you have been living under a rock, which team that is doing poorly do you still believe in, and what team that is doing well do you think is gonna go downhill? The team that's not doing well that I still believe in, it's the Chiefs. I mean, listen, the Chiefs aren't as good as we've seen them be, but still the Chiefs. I mean, you can literally see it. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league, having a poor start to the year. And when Patrick Mahomes isn't playing well, the team doesn't play well. Not to mention, not to say that their defense isn't playing atrocious right now, but if Patrick Mahomes is leading the league in interceptions, no team with a quarterback that leads the league in interceptions is going to be doing well, right? So I expect him to pick things up and take that Chiefs team back to the playoffs. And if you're a Chiefs fan listening to this, I say take a chill pill. And if it's the same situation in 4 weeks from now, then you can start sounding the alarms. But a team that's doing well that I don't really believe in, it's the Raiders. Personally, listen, I mean, they're surprising me. I think they're 5-2. They're surprising me with that record. I still don't think that their roster is that phenomenal. And I'm going to sound like a hater, but I still don't think that Derek Carr is a Super Bowl quarterback. So, hey, man, if he proves me wrong, I'll be the first to admit it, but I just don't see them doing that well.
One team that has underperformed that I'm still super excited about. By the smile on my face, you can tell what I'm about to say. It's the Indianapolis Colts. Okay?
That was coming.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times on here. The Colts, I don't know who on the Colts slept with the schedule maker's wife, but they got absolutely dogged to start the year. But I'm happy we walked away with a win in San Francisco. We won ugly, but we won. And 2 of the next 3 weeks are against the Jags and the Jets, right? And the reason I'm so confident in the Colts is because they get to play the Jags and the Titans 4 times in a year. So I don't want to say it's 4 wins, but it's looking like it's going to be 4 wins this year. And Carson Wentz, the announcer said it on Sunday night. He maybe not there quite yet, but he's showing glimpses and flashes of his MVP caliber season. He's running the ball. He's not sliding. He held great control of the game on Sunday, except for that ugly pick that was actually ruled a fumble. So I'm still super confident in the Colts. And with the defense like that, Darius Leonard has 8 takeaways this year. Absolutely disgusting, unbelievable. Bitten with the injury bug at the beginning of the year. O-line was moshed up. Braden Smith hasn't played a game. Quentin Nelson just came back. The first few weeks we were missing Eric Fisher too, so the O-line's getting settled now. And the way Jonathan Taylor's running the ball, Cam can kind of attest to it as a Jonathan Taylor fantasy owner, but no, he's looking unreal. And one team, I'm not going to pick the Raiders. I did have the Raiders written down, but it's a team in the same division that I'm going to have to kick down a notch, and that's the the LA Chargers. Excuse me.
I haven't heard that one in a while. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, my bad. But no, it's the LA Chargers. I'm a Justin Herbert fan. I'm a Keenan Allen fan, but I just don't think they are currently a top 10 team in the NFL or top 8 team as Bleacher Report has them. So I still think they might sneak into the playoffs as a wild card because I do think the Chiefs are going to actually end up coming back and winning that division. But I don't think they are, where they're ranked right now. Not to say they won't be there in a year or two, but right now this year, I don't think they are there.
Yeah, when it comes to underperforming teams here, I'm going to go with the Colts too. The Chiefs, if they don't figure out what's going on offense, I think they're going to miss the playoffs. That defense is just
Horrible.
It's garbage. I think they've given up the most points in the NFL or close to there. So anyways, the Colts, yeah, I just see them, as you said, they had the toughest schedule opening up the season. They got games against the Jags coming up, the Titans. I think they're going to bounce back and they could make the playoffs for sure. When it comes to teams that are overperforming, to me, there's no pretenders anymore. I was looking at the Raiders, Bengals. Those are the two teams that I was like trying to decide over. I think the Bengals are legit. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow looking great. That defense was outstanding as well. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Raiders as well. But I don't know. Derek Carr's like basically having an MVP season, so we'll see what's going on with the Raiders. But I don't know if they'll be able to keep that the way they're performing up right now.
I would also just very quickly like to issue a formal apology to the Cincinnati Bengals. I was the number one hater of the choice of Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. But not that Sewell's underperforming in Detroit. He looks great too. Went face-to-face with Aaron Donald and was scrapping with Aaron Donald. But Jamar Chase just looks unbelievable. I saw this tweet today. It was like, I can't believe that we saw Justin Jefferson become a borderline all-pro last year. And we still thought that the guy that was significantly better than him in the LSU offense was going to come into the NFL and, not perform. And now he's showing that, he's coming in. He was better than Justin Jefferson at LSU, and he's showing up. So I would like to issue a formal apology.
Before we move on, though, flashback 2 months from, a little bit farther than that, to the draft night. You're on the clock. You got the number 5 pick. Are you changing your? Are you picking Jamar?
I don't think you can change. I don't think you could change it.
I think the debate was put to rest this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
I said at the time it was going to be Jamar. I thought that was the right pick. Him and Burrow had the chemistry. That chemistry is still there, better than it's ever been. I don't know. I definitely I think that's working out just fine for them.
In a division where you have Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry, Jamar Chase is playing like the best receiver in that division right now.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's a doubt about it.
So to me, you have to stick with the guy that you took at 5.
Sure.
I think I would pick Hollywood Brown before those two guys, even right now.
Yeah. Anyways, that's not the debate we're talking about here. But yes, I would stick with Jamar.
Yeah, so for me, I didn't go anywhere different than you guys. I think there's a lot of teams that are even right now that are just going to keep going downhill, and there's a bunch of teams that are already out of the race completely and have nothing to look forward to. So I'm going to go with the Colts. They're sitting at 3-4 right now. Listen, it should be 4-3 really. They shouldn't have lost that game to the Ravens. That's clear. Good on the Ravens for coming back and winning that game, but the Colts have the Jets, the Jags twice, the Texans, and the Pats left on the schedule. Not that the Pats are a rollover team, but that should be considered a win. Those are all, to me, like almost automatic wins. Plus, they're beating good teams like the Niners. So I think they do have a good shot to turn it around. Good teams gone bad. I look just strictly on schedule here. I was thinking about the Bengals too, but the Bengals have a pretty easy schedule going forward here. The Raiders, on the other hand, schedule doesn't look good. They have a bye this week, but the next 5 are they have the Chiefs twice, Cincinnati, Washington, and the Cowboys. So, like, not hopeful for them. They're dealing with a coach who's never been a head coach before. So he even said it. He said Derek Carr is the voice of the Raiders. So, listen, I love Derek Carr, but not sure if they're good enough to be consistently a team that's way over 500. So, we'll see.
Yeah, a team that I think will come up is the Colts, like you guys said. I'm not really going to touch on much more because you guys have covered it. The team that I'm kind of scared of is the Bengals, though. Not to say that I don't believe in them. I do think they're a playoff team. I just don't think they're a division winner like they are right now. They do play the Browns twice. They still have to play them twice. And the Browns are right behind them, and Chubb hasn't played in 3 weeks. Hunt didn't play last week, and the Browns' run game still absolutely destroyed the Broncos. So I've always said run game and defense wins championships and wins a lot of games late in the playoffs and late in the season, and the Browns have exactly that. They built that defense and they built the run game. So I think the Browns are going to take over that division. So that's why, not that I don't believe in the Bengals, but to me they're not a division winner. But they will be a wild card team, maybe 6 or 7.
Just
I
quickly on the
agree.
Bengals, though, I was a hater of the Trey Hendrickson signing in the offseason. I thought it was a bit of overpay. He's leading the team in sacks. He has 5.5 right now, or 6.5 right now. So through 7 games,
Yeah.
he's definitely playing worth his money right now.
Hubbard had 2.5 this week too, so
Yeah.
they're getting it from both sides of the D line right now.
Am I crazy to say that the Bengals are the third best team in that division? Is that crazy to say?
No.
In my opinion, I think they are. I think the Browns have the best roster. I think if Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level, then it's the Ravens. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think there might end up being 3 playoff teams from that division. I think
The
it's looking
Bengals are
more
young,
like
though. That's one thing. They're like outperforming their expectations. Like the
also
Browns are basically in like win now mode. I think if Baker can't get it done in the next like year or two, he might be out the door. But like they're in win now mode. The Ravens, yeah, honestly, like
I just saw something today that apparently they're going to give him like $30 million a year.
no, yeah, I could see the extension coming this year. But what happened with Goff? They paid him, he didn't perform, and then they traded him like the one season after it. So listen, we'll see.
Another reason I have on the Bengals is Zach Taylor as a head coach has never coached a meaningful game.
Yep.
So we don't know if that pressure, as much as the players do most of the work coaching, if you can't, you're calling the wrong plays, it's not working for your offense. So we don't know what Zach Taylor could do in a pressure situation as a head coach.
I've been impressed though with this play calling.
Yeah, so far for sure. But like I said,
games, you
hasn't had
shouldn't
much
be in the
pressure.
tight game with the Jags, but just the same, like he's making good calls in late situations. I think Burrow's like looking way smarter than he should be for a second-year guy who missed a lot of last season. So
I've always been a big Burrow believer, and I still am. I think he's the real deal. I do.
Just quickly, I just want to get your guys' opinion on this before we move on. Obviously, the whole Deshaun rumor this week really started spiking up. Deshaun to the Dolphins, whatever. Is Tua done in Miami? And is Miami one of the worst teams in the NFL? They just came off back-to-back losses to the Jags and the Falcons.
I mean, he
I
has
think so
to be
that
done
their
if
defense
Deshaun
sucks
Watson.
too.
Yeah.
There's
What was that, Shane?
He has to be done if they're getting Deshaun Watson. There's no point in having him on the bench when you're paying Deshaun Watson.
Right. They are so bad.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Listen, I don't think that Tua is the worst part of that team.
Oh, he's not.
I'm being completely honest.
I just don't understand the play calling. They don't run the ball. So,
But Tua also has some extremely questionable decisions.
Yeah.
Extremely questionable. Anyways.
here's
He
the
does.
thing though with Miami is that their first-round pick this year is the Niners' first-round pick. So right now it's not terrible. It's like sitting around 12. But if the Niners like win a few games here down the stretch, like they're looking at like a mid to late first-round pick. Who are you getting in that slot? Maybe Malik Willis, like if you're lucky,
No
but like
way.
a Sam Howell kind of guy. I have a feeling like they skip on a quarterback this year in the draft, which is why I think they're going so hard on Deshaun right now. I don't think Tua makes the makes his rookie contract, I think they'll rehome him. I think he has a chance. Like going into like a more, that Miami offense is young too. Other than Devontae Parker, like they're pretty young too. So I don't know what happens with him, but
Yeah,
I think he has a chance on like a team with vets that can, like where he's not the main focus of the offense.
Yeah, I saw a proposed three-way trade that sent Tua to the football team, the Washington football team. I think that would work. You have the run game with Gibson and McKissick. You have Scary Terry. I don't know. I think that could work.
God, I love Scary Terry. He's so good. Anyways, that was our question of the week. Let's move on to our bold prediction of the week. So this week, we are getting the long-awaited return of my boy Jerry Jeudy. Just announced today that he's returning Sunday to play against the Washington football team. Best route runner coming out of college I've ever seen. And my bold prediction is that he is going to score 2+ touchdowns in his return.
Damn. Well, my bold prediction, again, I'm sticking with my boys through and through. Coming off back-to-back wins against the Chiefs and the Bills, the Titans are slowly becoming one of the most talked about teams in the NFL, especially with Derrick Henry, especially with AJ and Julio. But they are playing the Colts this weekend. I don't know what the line's at. I don't know what that's at, but Colts money line. Colts money line did me wonders, won me some money on Sunday Night Football. I'm hammering it again. And I would be more than happy to have the boys ride it with me. I don't know if you guys will, but Colts, Titans, Colts money line.
Unfortunately, I will not be joining you on that one.
I think the Titans are good. I don't think they're that good.
I'll be there, Dawson.
I don't think they're that good.
I love it. I have a very similar one to Matt's, actually.
Hey.
Obviously, Jair Alexander's out against the Cardinals. I'm going DeAndre Hopkins 2+ touchdowns on Thursday against Green Bay.
I'll take that. Nah, I'm back with the college football parlay. Little two-legger this week. Not gonna go too crazy. Ole Miss, they're 6-1 right now. Their only loss is Bama, and they're not favored. Playing at Auburn, who lost to Georgia, and then a pretty impressive win over Arkansas. But nonetheless, don't think Ole Miss should be underdogs in this one. So we're gonna parlay Ole Miss plus 2.5. With Iowa plus 3.5. They're playing against Wisconsin. Obviously, a bit of a weird triangle here because Iowa lost to Purdue and then Wisconsin beat Purdue. So I guess the feeling is Wisconsin's going to automatically beat the 9 seed Iowa. I'm not impressed by Iowa at all, but that defense is crazy good. Wisconsin's offense, subpar to me. So we're going to parlay that. Lay it. I'm confident.
All right, before I say mine, in no way will this outcome ever happen, but I need to say it. I'm also building a little two-leg parlay for NFL. And once again, in no way will this happen, so do not put your money on it. But the first leg is the Lions over the Eagles. That one I'm more confident in than the second one.
Could honestly see that happening. That's the worst part.
The Lions come out and do onside kicks and fake punts again.
Bro, that was wild. That was one of the
crazy.
wildest
That was wild.
shit I've ever seen in my life.
Respect to them. They got
The
me.
second
that
one is the one
16.5.
that's not going to happen at all. But I'm just going to say it just to make myself feel better. On Monday night, the Giants are going to beat the Chiefs.
Whoa.
Hey, man.
You know what? It's not that fucking crazy.
Patrick Mahomes is out of concussion protocol, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have to put Shane into concussion protocol. After that one.
You parlay Lions money line with Giants plus 10, you're getting good value there.
I checked it on Bet365. If you put $10, you're winning 114.
The value is definitely there.
I would do it.
If the Giants win, oh my God, I'm going to be running the streets of Lennoxville.
Oh, man. All right.
Good ones.
Well, that was our bold prediction of the week. Now let's head into our Week 8 Game of the Week. So we decided that this was going to be the Game of the Week a couple days ago for obvious reasons. I mean, Green Bay Packers at 6-1 are visiting Arizona, or the last undefeated team in the NFL. Whoever wins that is at the top of the NFC, a very good NFC currently. But the Packers have just announced that they have quite a few injuries, including Devontae Adams, including Alan Lazard, including Jair Alexander. But to save you guys from the all red graphic, I am going with 28-25 Green Bay. As crazy as that might sound, even though Devontae Adams isn't there, even though Alan Lazard isn't there, you want to know someone who is there? It's the 2021 MVP, Aaron Rodgers. We can't forget that he is playing again at an MVP level. And any team that has Aaron Rodgers on their team has a chance to win. Also, Arizona, 7-0. Not really a lot of flaws in that game. I'm not going to bring any up. But I don't see this team going undefeated. A lot of undefeated teams through 7 weeks get to a peak or something. I see it happening this week. My X factor, obviously, is going to be the Packers' receiving depth. I mean, listen, I think Amari Rodgers.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like Amari Rodgers is going to be their guy.
No, he definitely.
Valdez Scantling or no?
Yeah,
Like,
MVS is back. Equinemius St. Brown's
St.
been.
Brown, yeah.
Yeah,
Equinemius
so-
St. Brown's been
Randall
making some
Cobb.
plays too.
Yeah.
Randall Cobb, pretty much.
And
Randall
Robert.
Cobb.
Randall Cobb, yeah.
Hey, Tunyon's still there too. So.
listen,
Anyone
what's-
want Randall Cobb on your fantasy team? I'll trade him if you guys want.
Is it my turn?
I believe so.
For me, even before all these receivers got ruled out, I thought this one could get kind of ugly. And that's because Jair's gone and the Arizona Cardinals don't have the best receiving core in the NFL, but they are definitely up there. And just the way that whole offense is playing, I think it could get ugly. I don't trust Kevin King and Eric Stokes to shut down D-Hop and AJ Green and Christian Kirk and newly acquired Zach Ertz. Don't trust that at all. So my score is 34-14 in favor of your Arizona Cardinals. The X factor, like I mentioned, if there's any hope for the Green Bay Packers, Kevin King and Eric Stokes have to have the games of their life. So I got to we'll call it the Packers secondary as the X factor here.
Yeah, that's funny that you bring that up. I have the exact same thing going on here. I was originally going to go 28-21, but all the injuries and all the COVID guys. I'm going 35-17 Arizona. My X factor is the Packers secondary as well. Obviously, Jair's out. We're going to see the Cards attack Eric Stokes and Kevin King. And how they fare against D-Hop, AJ Green, and Christian Kirk, it's going to have a big impact on the outcome of that game for sure.
Yeah, I think like in a short week, the team that's playing at home back-to-back weeks like is the safer play. Like regardless of the guys that are out, with Devontae and Lazard on the COVID list now, like
Yeah.
I don't know how the Packers are gonna move the ball. Also, let's not forget what happened to the Packers O-line last year when they played good D-lines. The Marcus Golden. I don't know if you guys watched Cardinals last weekend, but
Yeah, he went crazy.
but yeah, he had 2 strip sacks. That's 4 on the year for him. Chandler Jones is back. Zach Allen's back. J.J. Watt's still there. They have a lot of depth on that D-line. I think they'll get after Aaron Rodgers. So, for me, the X factor is the Packers' ground game. The Cards are giving up like just right around 120 on the ground per game this year. I think the Packers will need to get that at least. So, a lot on Aaron Jones here, a lot on A.J. Dillon, I think, later in the game, if they can keep it close. But I don't think they will. I'm going to go with the Cards, 38-20.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly, and it's gonna get ugly quick. I think I'm going 40-17 for the Cardinals. Just the no receivers combined. The 3 top receivers for the Packers right now have 22 catches this year. Their starting running back has 26. Like, that's half of what Devontae Adams has by himself. Amari Rodgers has 2 career catches for like 30 yards. It's not enough against this Cardinals defense who's flying around the field. And then no Jair Alexander, DeAndre Hopkins is going to make Stokes look exactly like he is, which is a rookie that hasn't gotten much playing time. And then, Rondell Moore in the slot. Like, these guys have so many targets. Zach Ertz last week had what was his 30-yard touchdown or whatever.
47, longest
yeah.
career touchdown.
So, and then the run defense for the Packers is right now the 22nd ranked run defense in the NFL. The Cardinals have the 5th best run offense in the NFL. So, Chase Edmonds, if you got him in fantasy this week, this could be maybe his first must-start week of his career. James Conner, he's getting that goal line work. He'll probably have a couple touchdowns, 1 or 2 for sure. Kyler Murray, I wouldn't even be surprised if Kyler Murray ran for 100 yards. Like, it's going to get ugly fast. And I don't even see, like, if you're betting and you get early payout on your betting apps, like, you're going to get it in the first quarter, I think.
Sheesh.
Okay. Interesting stuff. Those are some heavy words, Shaner. But all right.
Parker's going to move the ball. How?
Yeah. Only God knows that.
No, they have like the 5th best running back in the NFL. I like it. I like the Packers. I don't know.
On the road, Arizona plays well at home. It's a short week.
Arizona also has the 3rd best defense in the NFL right now.
Didn't you just say they give up 120 yards on the ground every game?
115. They're middle of the pack, but they're not giving up a lot of passing yards. No, that's the Cards defense. They're giving up 115 on the ground.
But the Cards defense, like, itself in general, is the 3rd best defense.
Yeah, no, they're not giving up a lot of points.
Anyways, it's a stretch for me to say the Packers are going to win, but we'll see. Could have been my bold prediction, I guess, but that would have just been foreshadowing. Anyways, let's head into our NBC Awards segment. Last week we did the NHL Awards. If you didn't catch the episode, go to Instagram, and you'll see who everyone picked. I'm getting a lot of pushback for who I picked for the Vezina, so go check out that. Go check out who Shaner picked for the Hart, because that was kind of a stretch as well. But this week, we are doing the NBA Awards.
Oh, yeah, baby.
NBA season is underway, and we are going to do Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Most Improved Player, Sixth Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Valuable Players, and then we are going to pick our finals predictions with our finals MVP. So we'll start with Rookie of the Year. I'm going to pick Jalen Green. Houston, guys, maybe their best player already. I'm like, he's going to be one of those rookies that's just going to be, he's going to have to perform for them to have any success at all. He's going to be the most important player on their team. So there you go.
Not only do I have Scotty Barnes written down, I have Scotty fucking Barnes written down. Scotty is he's looking good, man. He's looking like a young, skinny Giannis. I'll take it. But no, I'm loving the way Scotty's playing. I like the way the Raptors are using him too. Could get him a few more minutes, but my pick for Rookie of the Year, Mr. Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, as you guys might remember, I picked Scotty Barnes for Rookie of the Year as a bold prediction maybe a couple weeks back. I'm sticking with that, bro. He looks solid. I think these guys like Jalen Green, they're going to have some big nights, but they're going to have a lot of nights where they get beat down and have terrible games. But I don't see that happening with Scotty. I'm going with Scotty here. He's started off well, rebounding the ball very well and scoring points. So I think he's gonna be up there in the race.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the homer pick here too. I like Scotty Barnes. Listen, you could debate the top like 4 picks, however which way you want. I've seen some arguments for Jalen Suggs too, but yeah, I gotta go with Scotty here. He just looks like the perfect young piece, like to complete this like Raps team. Going forward, we'll see, but I like it.
I'm going Jalen Green also. Jalen Green seems like a guy that at one point in his career will lead the league in points per game. I think he'll run away with points per game for rookies this year. Honestly, I've watched a little bit of the Rockets, and they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. That could just be, the young guys early have the fresh legs.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're not as bad as they seem. I'm banking on Jalen Green to carry them to a couple of wins. Like you kind of said, OBS, he's going to have his bad games. But the reason I didn't go Scotty Barnes is because I feel like there's so many more options in front of him to start the season.
Yeah.
Maybe that changes as the season goes on, but to start the year, it's Jalen Green or nothing pretty much in Houston. So he's going to get out to an early lead, and I just feel like he's not going to look back.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me about the Scotty Barnes pick is obviously when Pascal returns, does he take Scotty Barnes out the lineup? Does Pascal play center? I don't know. We'll see what happens, but hey.
All right. Ride with our boy.
Yeah. That was our rookie of the year. Now let's go into coach of the year. I'm going with the guy in Atlanta, Nate McMillan. I like what they have going on down there in Atlanta. And if last year is any indication of how they're going to do this year, listen, I like it.
Yeah, I didn't realize Atlanta filled out their roster the way they did. I saw them play 2 nights ago, I think it was, and I really like that roster. But mine seems like the obvious pick after the start they've had, but you asked me 2 weeks ago, he would have been my pick too, just because I really like the way they filled out their roster, and that's Billy Donovan. Obviously, the Bulls are out to a 4-0 start, first time since like 96 or something like that. But I really like the pieces they added, the Carusos, the Lonzos. I still like the Vooch trade from last year. So I'm super bullish on the Bulls, funny enough. But no, I think Billy Donovan will be definitely at least in the conversation for that award at the end of the year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was going to go with him too, but I'm going to go with Quinn Snyder of the Utah Jazz. I think if they can finish first or second in the West and go deep in the playoffs, he'll get it. I thought he was going to win it last year, but obviously Tom Thibodeau took the Knicks to the playoffs as well. So, anyways, Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nate McMillan too. The Hawks had a good little run in the playoffs last year. Obviously, Trey got hurt, but I like what they did in the offseason too. I think they're looking at they might crack the top 4 in the East, so could be interesting. I think if they're top 4 in the East, I think he definitely has a case.
I'm also going with Billy Donovan. He's a guy who left OKC 2 years ago to join the Bulls, and it's a guy I didn't think that OKC should have gotten rid of. He brought that team, almost to the playoffs that year too, or even made the playoffs with Chris Paul and Gilgeous-Alexander, and when they had no expectations. He's a good coach. He's good for rebuilding teams. I know obviously they kind of filled out their roster this year with DeMar and Lonzo and stuff, but those guys, Lonzo's still young. Lonzo's a young point guard, and Billy Donovan enjoys working with young point guards, so we could see Lonzo excel. And if they keep going the way they're going right now, they could finish, like Cam said, top 4 in the East, and he'll definitely be in that conversation.
All right, so this is where it gets kind of interesting. We're going to our most improved player. And, you can predict who is it going to be, based off what you think is being most improved. It's we could go way off the board here. But I chose a guy that I've liked ever since he came into the league. I'm still waiting for him to break out. He had a little bit better of a season last year, but I went with Michael Porter Jr. He's kind of a perfect basketball build, if you ask me. And I'm just waiting for him to become the guy in Denver. I know there's a couple guys in Denver that are always going to kind of overshadow him, but talking most improved player here, I think those other guys can help him really achieve that goal.
I went with my favorite non-Raptor in the league, and that's our boy SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out in OKC. He's going to play 35-plus minutes a night. I would not be surprised if he averaged 25-plus this year, which that alone would, instantly put him in the conversation for MIP. Last Sunday, I think it was, he put up 26, 8, and 9 or something like that. One of my favorite players in the league. Obviously, the OKC roster is not super filled out, so I think he's going to shine just that much more. Him and Lou Dort this year, but I got SGA. Lock him in as MIP.
Love that one. Nice Canadian boy.
Yes,
I got Jordan Poole from Golden State. He's really good, man.
yeah.
3-level scorer. He can beat you off the bounce, off the dribble, shoot it. He's super athletic. With all the minutes he's getting this year, I think he can average in the high teens and put up a most improved campaign. So I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, I went with MPJ too. I know a lot of people think he got overpaid this offseason. He's gonna be looking at a lot more minutes too, with Jamal Murray out for a bit. So yeah, I like it. I don't know, like down the stretch we'll see. But I think if he's getting a lot of minutes now and he's putting up points, like he'll stay in that starting five. I think he would be anyways, but we'll see. I think he's looking at a good jump this year.
Might be crazy, but I'm going back to Houston. I'm going Kevin Porter Jr., a guy who I don't know what happened in Cleveland. It just everything went sideways and nothing seemed to work when they gave away his locker and then had to trade him.
Yeah.
But this guy was a first-round pick. He was projected to go early in the first round and then slipped to like 30th overall or something. He's super athletic, and like Jalen Green, there's no really other option, for the team to look at. So, two young guys to build around. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is going to really excel in a role where he kind of needs the ball in his hands. So I think he'll get a lot of looks just because they're going to be a bad team and he could help them win some game. Yeah, you're muted.
I'm muted?
No, me. I said absolutely shredded up the G League when he played in the G League last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Going to our sixth man then. Guy from was it? No, it was Utah. Yeah, Jordan Clarkson won last year,
Yes, he did.
and it was between two guys. It was a two-headed race between him and another guy from Utah, and Joe Ingles. So, Joe Ingles is gonna be your sixth man of the year.
I don't understand that. How can you have two guys that are up for six?
Wouldn't one be the seventh man?
Yeah.
Like,
If there was a seventh man of the year, it would be Joe Ingles.
there you go. For me, going back to Chicago, was one of my favorite players coming out of college. Obviously, with all their acquisitions, DeMar, Lonzo, he got pushed out of the starting five, and that's Kobe White. I think Kobe White's going to come off the bench in Chicago, and he's going to be dangerous against the second team of any team he's facing. So I have Kobe White.
Nice. Part of me really wanted to go with, the man, the myth, the legend, Lemon Pepper Lou. It's his award to lose every year. But nah, I'm gonna roll with Tyler Hero. He's coming off the bench from Miami. I think he's going to all year, and I think we haven't seen his full potential yet. Like you see flashes of it all the time, and if he can do that consistently, I think he could run away with the six-man award this year.
I like how we have variety here. Team I really like is the New York Knicks, and Derrick Rose coming off the bench. We know what he can do. He's obviously in the wrong half of his career right now, but not wrong, but back half of his career definitely. But yeah, listen, they had a bit of like a Tom Thibodeau looked like he got them going in the right direction last year. I think they'll continue that, and if Derrick Rose coming off the bench and scoring and keeping that team afloat, I like his chances.
This one's a little crazy. This one's very far off the board. I'm going out to LA, and I'm going with Carmelo Anthony. He's a guy that they have coming off the bench. Right now, he's shooting at a 51% field goal, like over 60% three-point. I know he's obviously not a huge three-point guy, but he's averaging 17 points. And I think, a guy his age coming off the bench, it could help him keep that scoring touch late in his career. And if he could get up there, averaging 20 points a game or whatever, I feel like it's something you got to consider. He's got to be in the top three at the end of the year if he's averaging at least 20 points.
I I can't believe he was a free agent 2 years ago.
Doesn't make
It
sense.
pisses me off because
Guy
he's
just
one of my
passed-
favorite.
He's
He's one of
just
my
passed
favorite
Ronaldo.
NBA players. Yeah, the disrespect was crazy back then. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, we're gonna head into our defensive player of the year.
I
Oh
swear
boy,
to God.
oh boy, is Shaner excited for this one.
If his name is said, I would be so mad.
My defensive player of the year is Joel Embiid. Okay, listen. The Philly 76ers had 2 defensive player of the year candidates last year, and one of them is just MIA
He's being
right now.
a pussy bitch.
So it's looking like Joel Embiid is
Those
gonna
are
have
fighting words, Dawson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like Joel Embiid's gonna have to pick up the pace and help out even more defensively, I guess. But yeah, he's gonna win it.
Shaner.
I don't want to piss off Shaner.
Shaner. I'm loyal. I would never do that to
Let's
you.
go.
My defensive player of the year is Miles Turner. I have no explanation other than the fact that I don't want to fucking pick Rudy Gobert because he's a bum. Miles Turner, you're my defensive player of the year.
Boys, my defensive player of the year is
Oh.
is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Bro, we just know what he can do defensively, so we'll leave it at that.
Don't do it
Yeah.
to me, Cal.
No, I won't. We have to shake it up here. No, but I'm gonna go with Bam Adebayo. I think the Heat had a bad year coming off the finals appearance in 2019. I think they're looking to turn that around. I think they're a lot more stable now. So I like Bam's chances. He's a freak. He's a freak. So listen,
Yeah.
he's doing it on both ends.
Guy
All
can
this for
guard 1 to
Shaner to
5.
say Rudy Gobert, eh?
No way. Not a chance.
I thought he was going to.
All right. I also have Miles Turner.
Woo!
I had him last year. If you
I was
remember.
gonna say you went Miles Turner last year out of nowhere.
Yeah, I had him last year at the end of the year. That guy's a shot blocking, he's disgusting. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The thing is, he doesn't get the recognition in Indiana, but there's been trade talks from him for the past 3 years. You know, teams that need upgrades at center.
He'd be
I
so
wouldn't be-
sick in Toronto. Fuck.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this is the year that he gets shipped out to a bigger team in a playoff run, which would put him on a pedestal. People will be able to see what he could really do. So Miles Turner, I believe everybody needs to know how good Miles Turner is defensively, and this is the year. I like it.
All right. So with that being said, we're gonna head into the most important award. That is your most valuable player. Most of you may know I like to give a speech about this award and how ridiculous this award is when given out in the NBA. But I'm going to save you guys the trouble this year. Most valuable player can be taken into many different contexts. To me, it's just who's most valuable to their team, right? Who's the best player in the NBA,
I thought
right?
we were saving the speech.
Okay. I'm not saying the LeBron speech.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna say that last year, I don't think the best player in the NBA won the MVP. Not that Jokic didn't deserve it, but this year I'm not going with LeBron James. Going with Steph Curry. Best shooter I've ever seen in my life. I don't think anyone has seen a better shooter than Steph Curry. He started off the season hot, and I don't see him slowing down. I just think he's so important on and off the court for that team. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, mine was an absolute toss-up between Steph and the person I ended up choosing. But I actually lied before when I said SGA was my favorite non-Raptor in the NBA. This player is my favorite non-Raptor in the NBA. That's Luka Magic, baby. Luka Doncic.
Oh, it was Kevin Durant.
He was, but he went to Hollywood on me. It's been a while. But no.
Went to Hollywood.
No, Luka Doncic. Love the guy. Unbelievable.
Oh,
He was my
man.
MVP pick last year. He's my MVP pick this year. He'll probably be my MVP pick next year. So, Luka Doncic out in Dallas.
Yeah, I got Steph Curry as well. If he can lead that team in a stacked Western Conference to a top 4 finish, let's say, I think he should be running away with it because he's going to be putting up stupid numbers. I also believe he is the most valuable player to his team out of anyone else in the NBA. So that's why I'm going with him this year.
I'm gonna go with Kyrie Irving. Wait, he's not playing.
Agreed.
Yes. No, I'm gonna go with Steph too. Yeah, like you said, guys putting up numbers. They're still without Clay. Obviously he'll come back, but if Steph can keep the Warriors at the top of the West, until Clay gets back, like I think it'll just prove his importance. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not going with Steph. I'm going with a guy who has many MVPs though. That's Giannis. To me, I think he's the most valuable player to his team in the league right now, even over Steph. But if he can get that 3-point shot working that he apparently worked on in the offseason, Giannis might be the most unstoppable player in the NBA because when he's driving, nobody's stepping in front of him. Now imagine him splashing a 3 over your face. Like there's no way you could stop that. So Giannis, if he could get that going, I think he's going to run away with it. So Giannis for the third time in 4 years.
Yeah, I'll believe a 3-point shot from Giannis when I see it.
I mean, he's not that bad right now. He's shooting 27%. It's probably his career high.
I wouldn't say those are great numbers, but listen, now we're going to go into our finals predictions. I sound like a broken record, but any team with LeBron James has a chance of making that finals, in my opinion. Last year they lost to the eventual Western Conference champions. I'm going to go Lakers in 7 against the Bucks. I think the Lakers are just a full team on a mission with a whole lot of chips on their shoulders. And I mean, listen, if they win the finals, I don't see any way LeBron James doesn't win it, finals MVP either, right? So
I'm switching it up a little. I'm going a bit off the board, I would say. Coming out of the West, I got the Utah Jazz. Coming out of the East, I have the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat are going to be your NBA champions. And I think Kyle Lowry is going to be your finals MVP.
wow.
Love that. I don't think the Utah Jazz is off the board at all. I think I think they're going to win the West this year, and I got them going to the finals as well. It's weird. I find they always have such a deep team. They always go deep into the playoffs, but we just never really talk about them. But I think they're going to get there this year against the Brooklyn Nets. I think the Brooklyn Nets will defeat them in 7 games. I could see this being a great finals matchup, and Kevin Durant winning that finals MVP.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Warriors coming out of the West. Especially when they get Clay back. Listen, if Steph's gonna be the MVP in my predictions, I think the Warriors have a good chance to make the final. And I don't think the Nets need Kyrie. Who knows what's gonna happen with Kyrie, but I don't think they need him to make the finals. I also have them winning, and like you, LBS, I have KD as the finals MVP.
KD is a different human being,
Yeah,
man. I don't understand.
Oh my God.
He's actually insane.
Me and Dawson are just clicking today. Me and Dawson are clicking. I also have Miami over the Jazz. The only thing is I don't have Kyle Lowry winning. I have Jimmy Butler. Just what he did 2 years ago in the finals, I just think he'll do it again. So, he stole those 2 games against the Lakers by himself. Now he's going to steal 4. So Jimmy Butler gets my MVP in the finals.
I don't know, man. I just see Kyle Lowry taking 18 charges in the finals. He's just going to take charges from Rudy Gobert like that.
Okay. Well, those were our NBC NBA award predictions. Now we're going to head into everyone's favorite segment, Top 5, baby. All right, so there's kind of been a big theme during this episode of what's valuable and what you consider to be valuable. So today's top 5 is top 5 most valuable players to their respective teams in the NFL. Okay, so I feel like there's gonna be a lot of explaining on this, but number 5, I have Patrick Mahomes as being valuable, obviously, to his team. To me, he's the best player in the NFL when he's playing at his best. You could just see it. The Chiefs are in shambles right now, and so is he. So he's not playing well. He's basically showing how valuable he is and how he was. That being said, I don't have him at number 1. Number 4, I have Alvin Kamara because as a Saints fan, I can tell you right now that offense is nothing without Alvin Kamara right now. You saw it yesterday against the Seahawks. Alvin Kamara had one of the games of his life.
And the offense is barely anything with him, to be fair.
And it's literally like, if he's not there, imagine how bad that offense would have looked yesterday. Not to like, it was a storm and stuff outside, but man, Alvin Kamara is a different breed. Number 3, I feel like I've said his name on this podcast quite a lot. That's Lamar Jackson. When Lamar Jackson is playing at his best, he's the most unstoppable player, and you could just see it in Baltimore, like in their offense. Like, it's ridiculous. Number 2, I have Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers started 3-0 with him. He got hurt. Now they're 3-4.
Yep.
That offense is in shambles right now, and you could see that their offense runs through him. The guy's a lock for 27 fantasy points because he gets 10 targets and at least 15 attempts a game. Like,
You're telling me he's fucking sitting on my IR.
So is
Yeah.
Saquon.
So is Saquon.
to me, the number 1 most valuable player to their team in the NFL is Derrick Henry. Most unstoppable running back I've ever seen. The only one I could maybe compare him to would be Adrian Peterson back in 2011. I think Derrick Henry's having an MVP season right now. I think he's a chance to break the record for most rushing attempts, and not rushing attempts, maybe rushing attempts, but rushing yards, because that offense runs through Derrick Henry. Even though they have A.J. Brown, even though they have Julio Jones, they need to get Derrick Henry the ball at least 25 times and have him have success to even have a chance at winning. And I think it shows he's been having success lately, and so have the Titans.
Before Dawson goes, I just want to announce that my bold prediction just took an absolutely major hit. The New York Giants just announced that Jabril Peppers is out for the season with a torn ACL, which I don't know when that happened.
Must have been practice. No, but it's Monday.
Yeah, for real.
No, it's Tuesday.
Monday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. It's
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Shaner and I were just talking about Jabril on the weekend, too. Anyways.
The life of a Giants fan.
Sorry to hear that, Shane. My list has a similar pattern to Matt's. At 5, I do have Patrick Mahomes. I think, like Matt said, he's not playing well now, but I think how the Chiefs look proves how important Patrick Mahomes playing at his best, how important that is for them. 9 interceptions through 7 weeks, not going to get it done. He will bounce back. He's a fucking $500 million quarterback. He will bounce back. So I'm not worried about that. Number 4, like Matt, I had some bias here. I went with Darius Leonard. Okay, Darius Leonard single-handedly is the biggest spark for not only the Colts defense, but the entire Colts team. It seems whenever the Colts need a turnover, Darius Leonard is there to punch the ball out. Like I said before, 8 takeaways on the year through 7 weeks. I find that unreal. So Darius Leonard at number 4. Number 3, Derrick Henry. Like I said, the Titans are in a division with the Colts. So I do have I'm biased there in the sense that I hate the Titans, but I do not think the Titans offense is anywhere near, or the Titans as a whole are anywhere near as good without Derrick Henry in the lineup, obviously, seen as he's the best back in the NFL. At number 2, this one's going to fucking pain me to say, so I'm going to be sick. I have to put my mask on to say it, but Tom Brady is the most valuable player to any team he goes on just because, he's Tom Brady. He wins everywhere he goes, so he's got to bring some sort of value with him. And at number 1, Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens are nothing without Lamar Jackson. You can even see it when Lamar's playing at 50%. The Ravens are nowhere near the same team as when Lamar's playing at 100. So I think he is the most valuable to his team at this very moment.
Nice. I have a couple different picks on mine. This one might come as a surprise. I don't know. I've been paying a little more attention to this guy specifically just because he's on my fantasy team. But Matthew Stafford, to me, the Rams didn't really make any major upgrades other than Matthew Stafford on their squad this year, and we could see how we could see how they look already. He looks amazing, and I don't know. I think he's very valuable to that team, and he was the piece they were missing all along. Number 4, I have Aaron Rodgers. Matt was talking about it earlier. Since that week 1 loss, he's been on a mission, and he's led his team to some big wins and some tight games all year. So I think he's very valuable to that Packers team. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. We all just discussed it. It's kind of weird. It kind of looks like when his performance is rubbing off on the rest of the team. I thought Kelsey looked absolutely lost on the weekend. And the defense is just another story I hate talking about. I think they're fucking garbage, to be honest. But, yeah, I don't want to touch on that one. Number 2, I got Kyler, man. I just love Kyler's putting up great numbers this year. And if we're talking about how valuable he is to his team right now, I think he's the main reason why they're undefeated. And obviously that defense is helping them out a lot, but he's looked great all year, I think. Number 1, speaking of different human beings, Derrick Henry. Just an absolute machine. On that long touchdown he had, I don't know if you saw that run. He looks like a robot when he runs. It makes no sense. But yeah, obviously everything the Titans do offensively revolves around him and the threat he presents. So imagine the Titans without him.
Like, he literally doesn't
Nothing
look
as well.
The guy's literally a defensive end playing running back. He's literally a defensive end player.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
It does not make sense. Yeah.
All right.
That's the top 5.
Nothing crazy different from you guys. At 5, I do have Patrick Mahomes. Like you guys said, we're seeing it right now. He's not playing well, and they're lost without him. They need a guy who's like him, who's making big plays all the time, and fortunately not doing that, but he'll turn around. At number 4, a name that hasn't been said yet, and I did leave Derrick Henry off this list. He's number 6 for me, definitely. At 4, Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing Seattle right now without Russ.
Yeah.
And I was watching Peyton and Eli last night, and like Peyton just kept going back to it. He's like, oh, like Regina would eat a sack. He would just say, look, that's where Russ would be able to escape the pocket, or he'd climb it there instead of bailing early. Like, we're seeing that offense without Russ, and it's lackluster to say the least.
Worst part is I don't even think Gino's that bad.
No,
Like, he's not great, but
Like
he's not
Seattle's just
bad.
that bad.
Yeah, Seattle is definitely that bad.
Yeah.
But at 3, I have CMC. Listen, the guy's played like 5-6 games since 2019. Super unfortunate, but when he is there, he's putting up 200 yards plus. So no argument, I don't think. At 2, Lamar Jackson. We saw a couple games last year when he had COVID. Their offense is literally built to move the ball through him, whether it's with his legs or with his arm. But without him, they're nothing. At number 1, Aaron Rodgers. The Pack, like, we're lucky, or I guess they're lucky because they haven't been without him a lot. But if they were, like, there's a reason why they haven't drafted an offensive player in the first round in the last however many years it is. I mean, other than Jordan Love, but there's a reason for that. It's because they know he can get it done with guys who are coming from colleges that no one's ever heard of. So yeah, he's at 1 for me.
All right. I wanted to put Josh Allen on this list, but I couldn't find a way, so I'm just going to say honorable mention for Josh Allen. Number 5, I have Rodgers. Like Cam just touched on everything. He's doing it with, aside from Adams, he's not doing it with stars. There's no way if Love is playing quarterback that this team is 6-1 right now. There's no way.
Okay.
So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe on Thursday night he comes out and he shocks me and he wins. So that would help this argument even more. At 4, Tom Brady. We saw this exact offense minus like a couple weapons with Jameis Winston, and they didn't make the playoffs. This exact team, the defense was the same too.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It's the exact team minus like Antonio Brown and Gronk, and
those guys. sorry, those guys would not be there if Brady wasn't there either. You know?
Exactly. So it's the exact same team, and Brady just proved that he's, the reason they went to the Super Bowl last year. How many of those guys ever played in the playoffs before last year? And then they went and absolutely destroyed the best team on paper in the Super Bowl because of Brady's, how many times he's done it. At 3, like Cam, I have Russ. I caught a lot of heat before the season when I said that without Russ, Seattle is probably a lottery team. And right now, they had 10 points yesterday. Not to say that the Saints aren't good, but
Saints defense is disgusting.
The Saints have been the most up and down team. The Giants scored 27 points on the Saints. I don't want to hear it. They're the most up and down team all year, and you lost by 3. You lost 13-10 to the Saints. To me, they're still a lottery. They're drafting top 5 without Russ every year. Number 2, Mahomes. You guys kind of had him lower on your list, but to me, this proves that Mahomes has been not their whole offense, but it's without him, they're not really anything. Number 1, it's Derrick Henry. A.J. Brown and Julio Jones just haven't really gotten going yet, and the Titans are at the top of their division, beating the Chiefs, beating the Bills. And A.J. Brown got going this week, but Julio hasn't gotten going. I'm surprised, actually, because I thought Derrick Henry would open up for Julio. But a guy leading, he's going to smash records.
Yeah.
He's going to smash the rushing record this year. And not to say that Ryan Tannehill isn't maybe he's top 10, but we saw what he did in Miami without a running back, a guy who could do what Derrick Henry does. So I think he's also helping Ryan Tannehill. Opens up that they run a lot of that play action. Defenses move up to try and stop Derrick Henry, and they take the top off. So
yeah,
Derrick Henry is number 1, and to me, it's not even close.
I don't know if you saw that graphic on Sunday Night Football when they were talking about Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has the 3rd most scrimmage yards, or it's either rushing or scrimmage yards. I think Alvin Kamara's 2, but Alvin Kamara and Jonathan Taylor are right around 1,600 yards over the past 16 games. Derrick Henry is 1,000 yards over them. He has almost 3,000 rushing yards in the last 16 games. That is insane.
And the worst part is they don't even really use him in the passing game.
No.
Henry honestly kind of been impressed with how much they're throwing to him now. Getting 5 targets.
Derrick Henry, after contact, is the 2nd leading rusher in the NFL.
After Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, that's I'm glad you guys I thought picking Derrick Henry, I thought you guys were gonna be like, it's gotta be a quarterback, but
no.
I completely agree. I'm surprised not everyone had Christian McCaffrey on their list, because I think it's evident.
Fuck him.
In Carolina.
He's on the block if anyone wants him.
Yeah, I'll take him.
No way he trades him. No way.
But yeah, hey, listen, that was top 5 most valuable players to their teams in the NFL. Let's head into our last segment, our lock of the week in terms of betting. Like I said before, top 5. This episode has had a theme, and I'm going to continue that theme of valuable players, okay? If there was a top 5 list for dark horse, under the radar, most valuable players to their teams this year, I personally think that this guy, who I have as an anytime touchdown scorer this week, is there. And that's Darrell Henderson. Guy who is inserting himself as a top 5 fantasy running back. Has been incredibly valuable to that LA Rams offense. Sorry.
I think you could put anyone in that backfield and they're eating.
I don't think
similar to Dearness Johnson.
There's no way Darrell Henderson just got hyped up that much.
I think Darrell Henderson is fantastic.
I don't think he's close to a top 5 fantasy running back. I think he's fringe top 10.
Did you say he was like a low-key MVP candidate or something?
A low-key valuable player to their offense. I think he is.
No way.
I
It's
really
all right. Well,
I
I don't hate the anytime touchdown score. So
I'm not a hater, but I wouldn't say like there's quite a few guys that are more important to that offense than him, but fair enough.
Anyways, we spoke about it in the game of the week. Shane was very passionate about it. My lock of the week, Kyler Murray over 26.5 rushing yards. Lock that in.
like it. I'm going back to the Rams game. Just hammer the spread, 14.5, minus 105. I think they'll beat the Texans by like 21. Yeah, 14.5. Rams spread.
Those games scare me because like the Lions game, like the Lions came out obviously knowing we have absolutely nothing to lose. And the spread there was 16.5. I bet Lions plus 16.5.
Yeah.
But like
Cards covered though against the Texans. Was it
True.
last week they played?
True.
Yeah. And it was 20. It was at 20. So.
And the Colts, the Colts beat the Texans by 28. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texans do suck.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to hear me out here. I don't know if I'm absolutely retarded, and I know that Penn State just lost to Illinois in 9 overtimes. But Penn State's going to Ohio State this weekend. They're gonna play in the shoe. You know, it's a huge rivalry, obviously. Ohio State's 18.5-point favorites right now. And I know they've been on a roll. That offense is rolling. But Penn State is still a really good team. It took Illinois 9 overtimes to score 20 points on Penn State's defense. Sean Clifford's still like dealing with a bit of injury. Obviously, they lost to Iowa too, but no way they should be 18.5-point dogs. So I'm going to lock up Penn State plus 18.5. Don't know if that's stupid. Maybe it is, but it's too easy for me. I don't know.
I'll ride what you can.
Just seems a little crazy. I don't know.
I'm also going back to the Thursday night game. It's Cards money line. I had it before I knew about everybody out, but now it's going to be a blowout. Like I said, first quarter, early payout. Here we go.
Take the money
Anyone at home?
You can still get it though.
Ilpero Patriots money line against the fucking
I like
St.
that.
Jean Titans. Lock it in.
I like that.
Currently in a pick'em. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, that does it for episode 45 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. Just like to say thank you for sticking around. And if you're feeling extra generous today, click the little minimize button on the full screen. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. And Shaner with his little messy hair there is going to give you a wet kiss.